We begin our live coverage from the Nairobi National Park, where my colleague Alvin Kaunda has been keeping tabs with the celebrations of the World Wildlife Day. So Alvin Kaunda, if you can hear me, kindly give us a feel of how the celebrations are panning out.
Well, thank you very much, Bento. I'm coming to you live from the KWS headquarters here at the Nairobi National Park, where they're observing World Wildlife Day 2024. World Wildlife Day is usually celebrated on the 3rd of March of each year, but today it has been celebrated on this day, on the 4th of March, on a Monday, because the actual day, the 3rd of March, fell on a weekend. That was yesterday on Sunday. And Kenya Wildlife Service decided to take this opportunity and to milk, or maybe use the opportunity to talk about this year's theme, where is using digital technology and innovations in wildlife conservation, and showing us how digital technology is being used in wildlife conservation and also human-wildlife conflicts, in tackling human-wildlife conflicts. Maybe without saying much, I have a senior warden for Nairobi National Park, Mr. Muraya Githinji. Thank you very much for joining us, Mr. Muraya Githinji.
Thank you very much.
Maybe you could tell us about this day in general.
Okay, so today we are marking World Wildlife Day, but as we know, it's marked on the 3rd of March every year. But this 3rd of March having fallen on a Sunday, it was felt universally that we celebrate the day today. And the day is all about wildlife. And going by the theme of this year, we are talking about connecting people and planet. And we are looking at leveraging on digital technology in wildlife conservation. Because when you look at the conservation landscape, it has been felt that technology has not been fully embraced, to protect our wildlife. It has not been fully embraced to pass the conservation message to the people. Considering that in most of the African countries, technology has not permeated all the way to the village level in a way that we will wish it to be. And it's also at that village level that we are seeing much of our wildlife, because as you know, in Kenya we have a big percentage of wildlife outside the protected areas. They are there, in the villages. They are there in counties which are a bit remote from where you have advanced technology. So we are asking ourselves, how do we leverage in technology in such a way that even that person at the village level can be able to communicate with Kenya Wildlife Service, and we can also be able to communicate with that person in terms of conservation of our wildlife. When you look at the use of technology, we ask ourselves, for example, as Kenya Wildlife Service, how do I know that my birds in there are doing well? How do I establish that the fishes under the sea, several hundreds of meters below sea, are doing well? How do I establish that wildlife within remote areas are doing well? That's why we're embracing technology. We are looking at the use of collars. We are looking at the use of microchips. We are also looking at the issue of tracking devices. And this not only affects the wildlife itself, but it is also used to, ensure that issues of illegal trade in wildlife is also dealt with. And how do we do that? One, advanced DNA analysis, such that if somebody is found with contraband, we can be able to quickly establish it's from a wild animal and so on. In terms of human-wildlife conflict, how do we embrace technology? Well, we have always had the use of collars with GPS, collars that are able to transmit. But how do we go beyond that? Because one, collars are quite bulky, they are very visible. Sometimes, an animal can get caught in the bushes with a collar. So what kind of technology can we embrace that is not too intrusive on the animal? It's not limiting on the animal's movement, but at the same time, it will be able to relay information to us. Then further to that, we also look at, in terms of human-wildlife conflict, what kind of technology can we use at the village level to ensure that that farmer, that pastoralist is well protected. We've had the issue of lion lights. It's been around for a number of years, but how do we enhance that? What other technology can we come up with? For example, motion sensors. Can we have motion sensors that have been configured to detect intrusion by species of wildlife? Can we have motion sensors that can detect when a boma or a manyatta is being invaded? So there's a lot to be done, and that's why we are encouraging the youth, because the youth are actually the gatekeepers of conservation. And we always say the future is today. We cannot talk of handing over conservation to future generations. The future is today. And when you look at the kind of innovations that the youth come up with, when you look at the money platforms in the country, you actually appreciate and realize that the Kenyan youth has the ability to come up with cutting-edge technology. It's only that they've not been fully engaged to come up with technologies that can actually assist us in human-wildlife conflict. But I do believe with the kind of technologies that they come up with, we can actually embrace them, have them on board where they go through the challenges that we experience, and I'm sure that they'll be able to come up with technologies that can help us address issues of conservation.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, there you have it from Senior Warden Mr. Muraya Githinji, calling on especially the youth to engage in conservation. Yeah, we'll keep on updating you as updates come in. We're still ongoing in the event where institutions and organizations have been engaged in this day, or maybe to sort of educate them and inform them on wildlife conservation and also human-wildlife conflicts, how to tackle those. Not much from our end. That's all we have for you, and we will come back to you in studio, Bentroy.
Thank you, Alvin Kaunda there, telling us about the World Wildlife Conservation matters there. And it's a World Wildlife Day, which they have cleared why it is being celebrated today, and it falls on a Sunday. And among what they talked about, the future of conservation, they talk about the future is now and not tomorrow, and leveraging on technology and exploring digital innovations to help in conservation, not forgetting the challenges being faced by both animals and humans, and especially when it comes to matters climate change.